Hello, it's time for Combat Patrol Carnage. Here we are then, it's our final video for issue 15 and we have quite a lot to digest as we have the rules for terrain and cover. So yeah, we focus on all the data sheets we've had for terrain, so the Tyria stuff and the Imperial barrels that we've had with this issue. We read through and learn the rules for terrain and cover, how to get it and what its benefits are. And then we'll put it to use in a pretty big battle where we fight over a rubble-strewn battlefield. So yeah, we'll head to the table and we'll take a look at that in just a sec. But before we do, don't forget to do all the usual. Like the video if you are enjoying the Combat Patrol Carnage content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Numbers are up, but still, I don't think we're going to make it to 750 by the end of the year. Would be nice if we did, but I don't think so. We're 30-ish short as of filming this video. But yeah, looks like we might be hitting 750 in the new year and maybe even aim for that big 1000. And also drop me a comment down below. Love hearing back from you guys. Putting out quite a bit of polls at the moment for what you guys want in the new year and how you want things tackled. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more for Combat Patrol Carnage. And I'll be doing some battle reports for various different game systems as well, utilising the armies I have. Don't forget then finally, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They stock everything from new and used models for armies from various different game systems. They also have all your hobby supplies and your gaming aids as well. They're also stockists of Combat Patrol magazines, so if you need some extra issues, check them out, give them a message, and they might be able to get you some extras in. There'll be a link for Warbay in the video description, so check them out and you might find your next hobby project at a bit of a discount. Right, let's head to the battlefield and we'll read the rules for terrain before we have ourselves a new game of Combat Patrol. So here we are back with issue 15 for one last time. We've got our battle. The Psychophage sadly sits this one out, so he is on top of my storage tray for my Combat Patrol stuff. He doesn't quite fit in, he's a bit on the big side. So he's going to have to just sit to the side at the moment. But yeah, so what do we need for this battle? We need our Librarian in Terminator armor, 5 Terminators, 5 Infernus Marines, 3 Leapers, the Prime, and 10 Termagants. Plus we need all our data cards and stuff, plus the new terrain cards as we got to learn all about our terrain rules. So we'll adjust the camera and we'll get straight to that. So here's our new data cards, which has some awesome terrain printed on them. And on the opposite side, it has these cool L-shape sort of highlight areas so we can tell which parts give us the cover we need for protection. So let's have a look at our guides. So flip over. So, cover and terrain. Troops advance across hostile ground, dashing between obstacles and hunkering down behind cover to evade enemy fire. Whether ruins, barricades, or some strange biological growth, such cover can mean the difference between life and death. In this guide, you'll learn how to use cover and terrain to keep your troops safe. Benefit of cover. If a unit is behind a piece of cover, it has the benefit of cover, which is explained on the next page. Each time a shooting attack hits a model that has the benefit of cover, you add 1 to the save roll of that attack, excluding invulnerable saves. Models with a save characteristic of 3+ or better, such as Space Marines, cannot have the benefit of cover against attacks with an armor penetration characteristic of 0. However, they do receive the bonus against attacks with AP of 1 or higher. This Infernus Marine has taken cover behind a pile of crates and barrels. This terrain piece is represented by one of your battlefield essential cards. Yeah, I like that they've got a little bit of thick board in the roughly right shape and size of the rectangles on our battle mat, and they've actually put the terrain that came with Imperium, so the barrels that came with our containers. So yeah, I'm definitely going to dig out my spares and make up some. Ignores cover. Cover can shield a warrior from many dangers, but certain weapons are specially designed to breach even most impregnable positions. A unit may only claim the benefit of cover against shooting attacks. In addition, certain weapons have the ignore cover keyword. These weapons are often flamethrowers or other torrent weapons such as the Psychoclastic Torrent used by the Psychophage. Other weapons such as smart missiles or cover-breaching mortars may also have this rule. A unit may never claim the benefit of cover against an attack made by a weapon with the ignores cover ability. So yeah, make good use of our Infernus Marines to flush out anybody in cover. Benefit of cover. In the Combat Patrol collection, terrain on your battlefield is represented by the Battlefield Essential cards, which provide 2D representations of 3D cover pieces. In this guide, you'll learn how to use these cards and when the units standing on them gain the benefit of cover, and when they are vulnerable to attack. So I won't read through all these as there's quite a lot to read, but essentially we have gaining the benefit of cover. So if the cover is between your unit and your opponent's shooting unit, you gain a cover. So the Tyranid Prime here can claim the benefit of cover from incoming attacks on the Space Marine Captain. But if it's the opposite way around, the AWP model is here and the opponent has a straight line that does not cross the cover L shape, then you do not gain the benefit of the cover. So I think the tick and the cross should be the opposite way around there, actually. So far, you've been using your Tyranid Battlefield Essential cards in your battles. In this part of the guide, you'll learn how to use these Battlefield Essential cards with the rules for cover that you have just learnt. Don't worry, these will work in similar ways to how you've used them so far. So the Von Ryan Leaper may claim benefit of cover against shooting attacks on the Space Marine Captain because some of the models are obscured from view. The Von Ryan's Leaper here cannot claim the benefit of cover as there is no intervening terrain. So yeah. Let the ruins of others' failure be the foundations of your victory. Finally, we have a little bit about terrain and movement. So while terrain can be a valuable ally for a warrior, it can also be a dangerous obstacle. As an army advances across the battlefield, it must be mindful of the route it takes. For delays incurred trying to navigate ruins can be deadly. In this guide, you'll learn how your terrain pieces can impede your movement of units in games. So here we see the captain. He starts in the cover and wants to move out. So he moves normally with his regular move of 5. As he's going over terrain that is 1 inch or lower, he requires a subtraction of 3 inches, which consists of 1 inch up, 1 inch across, 1 inch back down again. And then your basic move value now has become 2 inches, so you move the 2 inches shown there. Units that have the fly keyword can ignore terrain, as our Winged Tyranid Prime has, so he can fly straight over to his maximum value without being impeded. So, on to our scenario. Scenario 11, Battle Lines. A vital defensive position has been identified. At this choke point, the Space Marines could fend off a Tyranid swarm with only a handful of soldiers, while Tyranids could strangle Imperial supply lines of a mere scattering of Sentinel bioforms. In this mission, you will use the rules for cover on a battlefield of dense with terrain. To win, you'll need to seize the best positions for your forces while working out how to break into your enemy's defensive positions. In the following example playthrough, the Tyranids player wins the roll-off and takes the first turn. So for our units, we need the Librarian, 5 Infernus Marines, 5 Terminators. You may deep strike with any of your units if you want. Tyranids get the Tyranid Prime, 3 Leapers and 10 Termagants, and you may deep strike with your Tyranid Prime if you want. So how to win? In this mission, you score victory points, 5 for controlling 1 objective, 5 for 2, 5 for more than your opponent. So you've got 3 objectives across the battlefield. And we got our terrain cards set out with 6-inch deployment zones each side for our models. And as we go through the scenario, Tyranids have started, so they move up making use of cover. Shows here we've got the barb gaunts. That's interesting, but it says there we don't. I suppose it's just an example of what things can look like. Because yeah, here we only have the Terminator, Librarian and 5 Infernus Marines. But yeah, there we have example turns, how we make use of moving through terrain, etc. And that's it. Right, I'll set up the battlefield and we'll get into our latest game. Yeah, this camera angle is definitely better for setting up. So let's see, speaking of setting up, let's see who wins the roll-off for setting up first. And it's the Space Marines. So the Space Marines deploy their first unit. So I'll get the battlefield set up and I'll be back with roll-off for first turn. So I've deployed and I've decided to keep the Prime off the table, try and see if he can come in via Deep Strike at a later point in the game. So hopefully we can hold the Terminators down with the Barb Gaunts while the Prime comes in, the Termagants rather. And the level 1 Lion Sleepers are going to match off against the Infernus Marines there. So, rolling off for first turn. Ooh, the Tyranids take it. That could be decisive. So, here we go then with Tyranids, turn 1. So, command phase, we didn't score any points as we weren't on any objectives, but we are now, for the moment. On to shooting then. So we got 10 shots on the Termagants, shooting at the Terminators. So it's not going to be much. They do get the benefit of cover, but as their armor save is so high anyway, it'll be of no use to them. So 10 shots hitting on 4s. Wow, only 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. No 4s because strength 5, tough 5. Only the 1. 2 off armor save. Yes. Okay. And we have 1 charge to make in the charge phase, which will be the Von Ryan's Leapers into the Infernus Marines. Yeah, they're definitely in with a 7. So I'll move them in and we'll go to combat. So our Leapers are in. So we have 18 attacks, striking on 3s. That's not a single miss. Ouch. Wounding then, strength 5, tough 4, 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fails. So there's going to be a lot of 4-up saves to make. That's 5, 9, 13. Unlucky for some. So 2 at a time. 4-up. 1 dead Infernus Marine. Next one has survived on 1 wound. Single save of a 4-up. Yep, single save of a 4-up. In the tray, still making it. Still making it. Still making it. Wow, okay, this is going to go on. Nope, he's finally bit the dust, but he has took most of the damage. There's only 3 saves left to make, so roll them all at the same time. And they're all made, wow. Okay, not as bad as I thought. So we got 3 guys fighting back for 9 attacks, they're combat blades. Hitting on 3s. And wounding on 5s. 2. I did that the wrong way around. That should have been blue dice. 200 saves of 4+. No, 2 fails. So 1 leaper has took 2 wounds. So that's it. On to Space Marines turn 1. So, end the movement phase, we've moved up in order to take control of the objective. The Space Marines are still locked in combat with the Leapers here, so we'll come back to them in a minute. So first off then we got our Terminators, so some shooting first. We'll do the Librarian Smite, d6 shots for 4. Regular version, so hitting on 3s. Not bad. Strength 5. Toughness 3. Freeze. That is 3 wounds to termagants. So this is -1. So they are on a 5+ normally. They would get the benefit of cover, because drawing from the straight line of the model's base, they go like that, unless you go that way. But yeah, for the rules purposes, they get the benefit of cover, putting them to a 4+, and the -1 knocks it back down to a 5+. So 3 5+ saves. Can we make any? We made 1. Oh dear. That has taken 2 out of the equation though. And now, I forgot about sustained hits from the smite. That's fine, we'll do for the rest of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 storm bolters. So 10 shots, which double because we are within rapid fire. So 20 shots. So hitting on 3s, 6s are sustained hits. Quite a few misses, but we got a single 6 there. No, 2 6s. So at least we make back 2 hits. Strength 4, toughness 3, so 3s. Pretty good. So 4, 8, 10 saves. So this time we do get the full 4+ save, as there's no AP on the storm bolters. And it helps. We've lost 5, so we've saved half of that damage, but it hasn't helped the unit. And finally we got 6 shots from the assault cannon, which will probably wipe out the last 3. Might do. No 6s. Ow, only 2 damage have gone through. Can they save 4s? Yes, they can. Okay, those last 3 are still alive, just. But they will need a battle shock test. We have 3 pistols to fire in combat against the leapers. 3s. Followed by 5s. Only the 1. 4-up save. Yes. On to combat. The leapers strike first with their fight first rule. They're still fully alive. Nobody has fully died. Partly died, which is different. So 6 attacks each, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s. Finally. So that's almost cleaning the pavement outside. So wounding on 3s, 2 more misses for 9 wounds on that Infernus Marines. So 2 at a time, because we still might survive. 1 wound. 1 dead. One wound. Saved. 1 dead. Sergeant left. No, he's not. After all that, they didn't survive. So our leapers will now turn and consolidate 3 towards the Terminators. And with that, it's on to Tyranids, turn 2, and I think the Prime might be dropping in. We'll have a look. So in the movement phase, we scored 5 points, because we got 4 to 3. What are points? First off, they need a battle shock. They might not be able to control it. No, they don't control it. -5 points. So those guys are battle shocked. Leapers have moved up, ready to charge. Prime has come in over 9 inches away, so we'll see how things go. So 3 shots on termagants, hitting twice, wounding twice, saving twice. Okay, charges then. We'll do the prime first. He needs a big number. 10 would be nice. Ooh, there's a 6. Up a 9 will be fine, because that will get me within half an inch of that guy right there. And then the leapers can't really fail, as they are over an inch away. Yeah, they're in with a 5. So they'll go like that. Then fights first, so the leapers will strike the terminators first, and 6 attacks each. Hitting on freeze. Haven't done the best. One guy has missed most of his attacks. Wounding on strength 5, tough 5, 4s. So the terminators will endure a bit. So quite a lot of 6s. There's a good old-fashioned rending rule when you want it. So that's 8 saves on the terminators, minus 1 to their 2 up save. So down to a 3 up. So 3 wounds a model. First guy takes 1. He's got 2 wounds left, so takes another. 1 wound left. In the tray, please. And he's dead. Oh dear. And then chargers fight first, so our prime can pile in 3 inches. And he attacks with his talons. 6, hitting on 2s. Ouch. Wounding on 4s. Only the 1. Minus 1. Saved. Terminators will strike back. Piling in as best we can. So 2 Terminators will punch the Timid Prime with their power fists. Hitting on freeze. No sustained hits. And wounding on, it's not double, so just freeze. Well, still pretty good, 4 wounds. With 2 damage a pop, this could punch the Prime to pieces. 4 up save, down to a 6 up save, it's minus 2 for power fists. Oh, he's made 2, which is good, because 2 go through at 2 damage each, giving him 4 wounds. And there we got 1 fist and the 4 axe going at the leapers. So the fist first. Freeze. Ouch. No sustained hits either. And strength 8, toughness 5, so it's not double. Freeze. Hasn't done anything. 4 attacks with the 4 axe though. Freeze, followed by 4s. No, freeze, just strength 6. Oh, really? Wow, did not sharpen his axe today. That's it. It's a tied combat, so this could go on for some time. Over the Space Marines' turn then. They will score 5 points, as they have 1 guy in range of the objective. And that is technically more than the opponent, so they'll score another 5 as well. So yeah, Leapers will fight first. Still 6 guys. Hitting on 3s. They're getting worse, which is good for us. Strength 5, tough 5, wounding on 4s. 4 misses. For 7 wounds. And 3 at a time because we have fully healthy Terminators. That's all saved. 1 wound through, and that's it. 1 wound through. And we'll do the Sergeant because he's not really worth keeping alive. He won't be as good striking back. So as it's the Space Marine's turn, the Tyranids will choose a unit next. So it'll be the Prime before he dies. He hits with everything. Can he wound with everything? Strength 5, tough 5. No, strength 6, tough 5. Freeze. He wounds with everything as well. Ouch. This is going to hurt. 6 saves of -1. So down to 3. Terminator Sergeant saves. Nope, he's dead. And the last 4 wounds. So 3 passed and 1 wound gone through, which is 2 damage. So the guy there. Otherwise we'll end up having trouble. So now it's the Space Marine's turn to fight back. So we'll do 1 guy for the moment on the Wing Prime, because if we can get 1 hit through, he'll be dead. And all we do get is 1 hit through. And it wounds. Can he save on a 6? He can. So the second guy next door to him will have to try. He does a lot better. 3 hits. And 2 wounds. 2 6s needed. There's the 1 fail we needed, so he's dead regardless. So the last 2 wounds gone through, punching the Prime to death. Librarian will do next. He's 4 sacks. Hitting twice, wounding twice. So these are D3 damage, so they can still be saved. -2, I believe. No, -1. So 4 down to a 5. Passed 1, failed 1. So D3 damage. 3, which will wipe out that 1 Leaper that's wounded. And then the last Terminator with a Power Fist fights back. Hitting twice. Wounding only once. 6 up save. Nope. 2 damage. And I think we'll call it there. The Tyranids don't really have units that can hold anything. The Terminators will eventually punch these guys to death, and they are ahead 10 points to 0. So we have learnt though about the benefits of cover, which has been good. We've seen that in action. So yeah, we'll call it there. It's a Space Marine victory, but only narrowly. Who knows, the Leapers might have been able to take down another Terminator or maybe 2 if they got lucky. I'll probably play it out just off camera. So yeah, we'll call it there. If anything's different, I'll let you know when we're back at the table. Okay, we have a change in the results. So as it was a victory points mission, even though the Tyranids were wiped out, they did score 15 points due to how the last 3 Termagants were positioned between objectives 1 and 2. They managed to score maximum 15 points. And because they had 2 guys within range of objective 1, the Space Marines couldn't control it, as it was 4 points to 2 points. So we do have a Tyranid victory as it changes up, even though, like I said, the Tyranids were wiped out. So we go for a Tyranid victory, mainly because it does say we score victory points and the game is decided on the victory points. So Tyranid victory it is. The Tyranids pile the fallen Space Marines upon the ruins. The hive mind reaches across the swarm and beckons a digestion beast into the fray. The fallen defenders of this location will be broken down, their biomass transformed into horrific biological emplacements, such as the terrifying might of the Tyranid swarm. But as it was also technically a Space Marine victory by complete wipeout, what did the Space Marines victory give us? The Space Marines voxed their base, requesting immediate support from the Tech Marines. Once they have fully purged the Tyranid infestation from this site, they will be able to turn it into an unbreakable defensive bulwark. But they must hurry, for more Tyranid reinforcements are already on the way. So yeah, not much regardless. It was an interesting fight. The Von Leapers did manage to wipe out 2 more Terminators. But the Assault Cannon Terminator and the Librarian himself was the only one who managed to actually do damage to the Leapers, wiping out with 3 6s for D3 wounds from his Force Axe. And then, yeah, we managed to gun down the Termagants. So there we have it. Moving on to the future, our next combat patrol is a paint issue. So issue 16 gives us Mephiston Red and Squig Orange. So I'm going to go paint my models up to the new magazine standard, and I will show you how to apply those paints on the Tyranid Prime and the Space Marine Captain, as we always do. So 2 new paints. We learn about the Ultramarines, and we have more special abilities to look at. So this is where our new cards come in as we start looking at faction rules and other weapon abilities, especially the Feel No Pain and Deadly Demise and stuff of the Psychophage. Next up after that, though, issue 17 and 18 is our next lot of Termagants. So we learn more about the first founding chapters in issue 17. We learn about successor chapters in issue 18. We learn all about command points, and we have yet more rules and stuff to cover as we come now to the end of having 2 complete combat patrol forces. So we'll be playing possibly our biggest game yet. So I hope you'll join me all for that. Yeah, like I said, I'm off to update all my models up to this magazine standard. I might save 1 Termagant, as we do have the guns to paint on the Termagant. So I'll probably show you 1 Termagant and the Winged Prime on camera, and then the Terminator Captain is pretty much the only guy who gets any colour done other than the sergeants in our unit who get their helmets painted. So, like I said, I hope you'll join me for that. That's it for this episode and this issue of Combat Patrol Carnage. I hope you'll join me for the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.